Well, first and foremost, grateful for UTEP to be able to play that game. I mean, the NCAA doesn't always get everything right as it pertains to rule changes, and I think they got this one right. To be able to play a Division I opponent is phenomenal for us. To get 10,000 for a good cause, obviously, is great as well. Both teams got better, no doubt about it. Way better than, there's no disrespect to playing a D3, but those were two Division I teams battling it out. Rebounding the ball, great. They're not afraid to be aggressive and foul, obviously, and turn us over. So turnovers were a lot to do with our carelessness as well as just their unrelenting commitment to being aggressive and trying to turn us over as best they can. So awesome first game for us.
Kind of took one of my two questions.
All right, so you got one question.
So we're down to one. Your starters, if you look at the plus minus, I know that may not always mean much, but you did start 11-0, 13-2 with your starters in, and then when they come out, UTEP makes their run. I noticed a point in the second half where they cut it to 4. You put 3 of your starters back in. You guys go on a quick 6-0 run, something like that. Any concern in your mind that it needed the starters to calm things down?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. I told the team afterwards, 13-2. I'm going to sub way more liberally this game than I would in a real game. Like, I think that's obvious, but I want to give those bench guys a chance. And all of a sudden it was 13-2, and that lead went away quickly. And so, but a lot of it was guys who hadn't played in this environment before. So I don't think it's necessarily that they can't help us off the bench, but it's got to be a learning experience for them, because I do want to be able to sub. I do want to be able to go to the bench. So a lot of those guys that were coming off the bench are freshmen or guys who haven't played in this building before, haven't played in front of 10,000 people before. So, I think they're better than that for sure, but we can't have the drop-off when we sub. Now, I'm not going to sub 4 or 5 guys in at a time either.
Coach, would love your thoughts on the newcomers. Any surprises for you all? Any pleasant surprises?
No, I mean, I thought they were all good in their own little way. At Tiki, you see he plays so hard, extra possessions, does a lot of good things there. Jovan is skilled. Phillip, weird type of game for him with the way they pressure and all that. Cade, that's a good experience for him. Sacco was really good off the bench, I thought, for newcomers. We got a lot of new guys. We lost a lot of key pieces, so this was certainly a really good learning experience for those new ones.
I think Phillip was a little tentative because 20 minutes and like 2 shots.
Yeah, I told him in the first half, you can't play and not shoot. I don't think he had a shot attempt in the first half. We got to have 5 threats on the court at all times. So, yeah. But, again, it's a guy who hadn't played a lot for 2 years, and all of a sudden you're throwing him in front of 10,000. Maybe he's a little nervous. Who knows? So, it's a good exhibition game for him to learn from.
Just talk to Tru. He seems excited about stepping up his role. Just your thoughts on him tonight.
Yeah, he's had a really good spring, summer, and fall. Works his butt off. Comes early, shoots, stays after, shoots, works on his game. In this world of transfer, there is value to staying. He experienced some of that success last year, and I think he's really built off it. So that was a very, very good performance by him.
A little bit more on Tru. He talked about not liking his role when he first got here. Obviously, he probably wants to come in and start right away. How much of that growth process is just sitting him down and saying, look, you just got to wait your turn, just like Donnie did?
Yeah, I tell them all, I don't want to pay taxes. I don't want to, I don't want to go to head coaches meetings all the time. There's a long list of things I don't want to do. You just got to wait your turn, and you got to continue to work. And not that he was great last year. And I mean, you remember at the end of the San Diego State game, I mean, he made some key passes and did some things. So proud of him for, it's hard. I mean, because everybody's getting recruited off everybody's team. So you got to appreciate the guys that do come back. But like I tell them all, you can be unhappy about your role. I understand it, but that's life. Nobody said it's going to be fair and perfect for everybody. So you just got to work your way through it.
I have another true follow-up. What's your reaction to hearing him sort of talk about, Jalen was the guy, and I asked him, I set him up for it, but Jalen was the guy that would get the crowd going sometimes, and he said, after tonight, he's trying to take that on.
I think we've talked about that. You need to be, to a certain extent, similar to House in a lot of ways. You're an energy guy. You're a steal guy. He can really ratchet the game up with his just intensity, similar to House. Not that they're totally similar players, but he has that ability to do that. Gets the dunk, gets the crowd going. Have at it. The beauty of Tru is you got to rein him in at times, which is great. But 4 steals, he's an energy guy for sure.
All right, and then I did have a question about 2 of the guys you didn't play. I know you played a lot of players, but 2 guys you didn't play. First off, Shane, what can you tell us about his injury, when you guys kind of found out about it?
Shoulder surgery. Did it a couple days ago, 2 or 3 days ago. So he'll be out for the season. It just was pain that he couldn't tolerate anymore. He tried to fight through it. And who's the other one?
And then the other one, Daniel Thomas, is a scholarship guy. I know you leave redshirt decisions up to the players, basically, but I'm curious. Exhibition seems like a time he would play.
I've got four men. You know what I mean? That position, there's a log jam, right? So, if I play him, maybe Sacco doesn't get the 12 good minutes that he had. So, I really like Daniel a lot. I think he's going to be a really good player. But he's a true freshman. He works his butt off, and I think he understands it.
So in the pregame presser, you talked about wanting to see how this team would handle shoot around the game day atmosphere situations. How would you grade or how they do?
Yeah, I think it was really good. Yeah, Donovan battling an injury. He had missed some time with a little knee deal, nothing serious, but he hadn't practiced for I think 3 days. Practiced yesterday, so he was a little fatigued. He was fighting through it. It's great to have kind of that game pressure that you can't simulate. It's great to play in front of 10,000 fans. You can't simulate that as well. I thought so many positives to take from it.
Nelly, he's a guy that I know you expect big things out of him this season. A lot of people, I think he could break out a little bit. 16 rebounds is great. 5 block shots. I say only 7 points. 7 points isn't horrible, but if he doesn't average a double-double this year, is it because he can't hit free throws?
He's a better free throw shooter than 1 for 5. Is he Rick Barry? Probably not, but I think he's a pretty decent free throw shooter for a big guy. So, yeah, realistically, he probably left 2 points on the board, but I thought he played his butt off for sure in a really, really uncomfortable game. All those guys, they were going to send us to the foul line. They didn't care.
We'll see you, man. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
See you, John. Good to see you. Good luck. Scared the crap out of me. Jesus.
Even after the game, they're in your face.
My God.
What they do,
I almost turned it over.
Supposed to be watching the door over here.
Oh, my God. Where is Frank?
That's a 26 turnover.
Jeez. They didn't care to send us to the free throw line, but we got to make some more of those for sure.
Is 16 rebounds something, though, that you think Nelly can do? That's a lot.
16's like Dennis Rodman, so that's probably asking a lot. But I think he can average a double-double. Why not? I think so.
When I first got here, honestly, I didn't like my role. I came in, I was a backup, but I learned a lot from the guys in front of me. So it's just a learning experience.
Looks like you trimmed, I don't know if you trimmed down, but you look quite a bit more muscular this year. What was the off-season like as far as training and getting ready?
Our season was great. I lifted a lot of weights, and last year I played at 195. Now I'm 205, so just lifting a lot, getting a lot of shots up.
It's awesome.
In my hair.
They're a team that's going to foul no matter what. Is that a good start for you guys? I know you like to play defense. Maybe the physical game doesn't bother you, but for the newcomers, a game like that, a good one?
Yeah, a game like that is a good one. Especially it's going to get us ready for UCLA and St. John's because they're scrappy also. The newcomers, they just got to adjust. They're just freshmen and they're just getting used to the team.
And then the starting 5, I'm looking at, I know plus minus doesn't always mean much, but you guys got out to the quick start, 11 low, 13-2. You guys have all the pluses, plus 15 is the lowest plus minus. And then the bench is where it kind of dropped off. Did you notice that a little bit? Some guys didn't, I guess, mesh as well together?
Yeah, I noticed that, but they're all new. Everybody who came off the bench was new, so they're just getting the feel of the game. So they will get better at that.
I just got to ask, how was it being back in the pit, man, making that first 3, second 3, just being back?
It was amazing, man. The environment, I love the environment here. It's always, I say lit. It's always jumping. Pit's always lit.
I like it. And obviously playing a D1 opponent, Geoff kind of touched on it, but just how big was it to be kind of in situations too and even down the stretch when it was close, how you guys handled it. How big is that for you guys as well early on?
Well, that's super big, you know. A team like that is definitely getting us ready for upcoming teams, you know. They're scrappy, so getting used to that.
All right, Jalen's gone. Who's supposed to get the pick going when they need that? I know that you talked about when he would do that and scream after a defensive play or a dive. Like, you loved watching him do that. How much of that's going to be you this year?
A lot of it, honestly. You see, after the dunk, after the live, I did a little showboat, remind me of House. Something House would do.
So that was a little bit of an ode to Jalen.
Yeah.
Back there, Natalie.
What are your expectations for yourself this year? Obviously, an increased role for you.
Just coming in and being a leader. You know, I'm young, but I can also lead. Coming in every day at practice hard. If others are lacking, pick them up. You know, I learned from the best, so just carrying it on.
It's an interesting night for you.
Yeah, the football press conference, you've seen already.
Well, as coach, the same thing when he comes in here, but how much of the playbook did we see tonight?
Not a lot of it. It was a lot of basics. He brought up he ran a play. I was like, oh wow, he's getting deep into the bag, but it's all right. We got a lot more.
Were there segments of the game where it was just you'd focus on just defense? Because it seems like this kind of game is bogged down into like defensive slugfest both ways.
Yeah, they were getting a lot of drives to the basket, so we had to pack the paint. You know, that wasn't a very good shooting team, so we just had to pack the paint.
The points off turnovers didn't end up being a big disparity, but the turnovers sure was. 25 turnovers, I know that's what they do, but like 25, I would think is something that's going to concern you at least a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna work on that for sure. We're gonna stop that. I know I had a few late games. I gotta get the ball out of my hands quicker.
How much of it is what they were doing, and how much was it you guys sort of maybe still getting the feel for playing? I know they played in Mexico last week. You guys did have a scrimmage, but they also played over the summer. They had a foreign tour over the summer. They've had more game experience together. Any of that with you guys on these turnovers? Like, you guys just are still learning each other a little bit?
Yeah, I say we started learning each other, but me personally, I just had 2 dumb mistakes at the very end, so I gotta get better at that.
Were there any of the new guys that you were impressed with, the freshmen or some of the transfers?
Jovan and Cade. You know, I like Jovan. He's very aggressive. He's versatile. Cade, I see he like a younger me comes in and get the defense sparked, and he's gonna be a good player.